Hello, everyone! Buckle up, because this story is a roller coaster you won't want to miss. Let's dive into the latest drama brewing in Dolton, Illinois, where Mayor Tiffany Henyard has managed to keep the entire town on the edge of their seats with her latest antics. It's almost as if we're watching a reality TV show unfold in real time. Picture this: a village board meeting. Usually, you'd expect local officials to discuss pressing issues and handle village affairs responsibly, right? But instead, Tiffany Henyard struts in wearing a glistening gold blazer, looking like she's ready for the red carpet rather than a public meeting. But that's not even the strangest part. In a dramatic twist, she demands that someone, specifically trustee Tammy Brown, return her $619. That's right, a whole mayor, dressed to the nines, pleading for a few $100s in front of everyone. It's almost surreal. Now, let's talk about Tammy Brown, the trustee who apparently owes Tiffany this specific amount. Imagine the scene: a packed room, the mayor in her golden attire, demanding her $619 in full view of everyone. Tiffany seems dead serious about getting that money back, almost as if it's the key to solving all of Dolton's financial troubles. The irony isn't lost on anyone, especially since Tiffany's outfit probably cost far more than the amount she's so focused on recovering. It's like she's delivering a masterclass in irony. But here's where things get even more absurd. While Tiffany is making this public scene over a relatively small amount of money, she's simultaneously dealing with accusations of using taxpayer funds for luxury dinners, lavish travel, and even her own events. And as if that weren't enough, she's allegedly been constructing an ice rink that only opens when she decides to throw a party. It's like the town's resources are a personal piggy bank to her, while the village itself is struggling financially. Dolton is reportedly drowning in debt, yet the mayor seems to be prioritizing her own comfort and entertainment. Now, let's rewind a bit for some context. Tiffany Henyard has been at the center of controversy for months now. Nearly every week, there's a new scandal making headlines. Many residents are outraged by her alleged misuse of taxpayer money, accusing her of treating village funds as her own. From extravagant dinners to costly travel arrangements, the list of accusations keeps growing. On top of all that, she has a full security detail, which some say looks more like a royal entourage, escorting her everywhere she goes, costing Dolton over $1 million in police overtime. Imagine living in a small town where the mayor has her own security team following her around like a celebrity. It's no wonder people are questioning her priorities. What's even more shocking is that this situation has caught the attention of federal investigators. Earlier this year, Dolton and Thornton Township received subpoenas, and Tiffany's political committee and personal charity are reportedly under scrutiny as well. The FBI is now looking into how taxpayer money has been spent, and the rumors aren't pretty. There are whispers of luxury hotel stays, first-class flights, and even personal shopping sprees funded by village resources. While many residents are struggling with day-to-day expenses, it seems Tiffany might be living it up at their expense. In a particularly surreal turn of events, Tiffany's landlord even showed up at a public meeting, seeking her out in person to ask about unpaid rent. The landlord claims Tiffany has been avoiding her for months, dodging both her and the rent payments. All this is happening while essential services in Dolton are reportedly deteriorating. Police cars are said to be on the verge of repossession. Village employees have had their access to critical work systems cut off, and unpaid bills are piling up. Yet somehow there always seems to be enough money to fund Tiffany's seemingly extravagant lifestyle. It's no surprise that residents are frustrated, calling for change and questioning her ability to lead the town forward. So, back to the infamous $619. Tiffany seems determined to get that money back, insisting that it was supposed to come out of a fund for trustee training. Now, maybe Tammy Brown does owe her that amount. But here's the thing. Wouldn't a private conversation have been the more appropriate approach? Why bring this up in a public forum, creating unnecessary drama and making the entire situation feel desperate? Given the rumors about Tiffany's spending habits, it's as if she's clinging to this amount as though it could make or break her. Yet, To the residents of Dolton, this display feels like an attempt to distract from the much larger issues at play. In reality, Tiffany's quest for the $619 seems almost trivial in the face of everything else going on. With allegations of financial misconduct, federal investigations, and growing frustration from residents, it's hard to imagine how she plans to convince anyone that she's the right person to lead Dolton into the future. But if there's one thing we know for sure, it's that this saga is far from over. So stay tuned, because in Dolton, the drama just keeps unfolding. It seems that Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard is caught in a troubling situation as her landlord, Janetta Hale, has publicly accused her and her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, of failing to pay rent since August. This revelation has stirred confusion and controversy among Dolton residents. According to Janetta, Henyard not only fell behind on her rent, but also allegedly changed the locks on the property, effectively barring the landlord from her own home. It's a puzzling scenario. A mayor, reportedly well compensated with taxpayer funds, who appears to be evading rent payments and taking measures to avoid eviction. Janetta has now resorted to legal action, actively working to serve Henyard with eviction papers. Yet, Henyard seems to be avoiding this responsibility with a swiftness that almost defies belief. Meanwhile, Henyard's lawyer has denied these claims, casting uncertainty over the entire situation. However, when Janetta confronts Henyard at public board meetings, demanding her overdue rent, it raises serious questions about the mayor's financial situation and her behavior. Dolton residents are left questioning where their taxpayer money is going, especially as their mayor publicly demands minor sums like $619, while allegedly owing thousands in rent. The stark contrast between Henyard's prominent position and the allegations of financial irresponsibility is fueling widespread public scrutiny and mistrust. The spectacle leaves many wondering if their leader is truly fit to manage public funds responsibly. Let's talk about Dolton's finances for a moment. The village is reportedly $5 million in debt, and the situation is so dire that some fear the police cars might even be repossessed. Meanwhile, Mayor Tiffany Henyard continues to spend lavishly, including thousands on billboards featuring her face around town. One resident even likened her to a South American dictator, saying it feels like living under Venezuela's Nicolás Maduro. This discontent isn't limited to residents. Even village trustees are frustrated. Trustee Kiana Belcher described Tiffany's actions as turning Dolton's politics into a joke, with the mayor dressing like a movie villain and entering meetings to Rihanna's "Better Have My Money." Imagine a mayor arriving like a character from New Jack City, holding a stuffed dog and attempting to intimidate her colleagues. It's a surreal and increasingly troubling scene. Mayor Tiffany Henyard of Dolton, Illinois, is currently embroiled in a series of intense controversies that have ignited local and even federal scrutiny, creating a storm of public opinion and mounting skepticism about her leadership. Henyard's tenure as mayor, marked by allegations of financial mismanagement, lavish spending, personal conflicts, and a public feud with her landlord, has led to increasing tension among Dolton's residents, trustees, and even the federal government. With an upcoming re-election bid amid such a chaotic backdrop, Henyard's actions are under the magnifying glass, and residents are asking tough questions about her suitability to lead the town forward. To start, Dolton's financial troubles have grown significantly under Henyard's administration, with the village reportedly $5 million in debt. This staggering number has sparked concerns among residents and officials, with some questioning the allocation of resources and whether taxpayer money is being effectively managed. Dolton's dire fiscal state has led to rumors that even essential services, such as police patrols, may soon face cutbacks or vehicle repossession due to a lack of funds. Yet, while these critical areas are facing potential cuts, Henyard continues to allocate funds to promote her public image, including spending thousands on billboards plastered with her likeness across the town. This behavior has led one resident to compare her to a South American dictator, likening the situation to Venezuela under Nicolás Maduro. The comparison underscores the disillusionment many in Dolton feel, as their public funds appear to be diverted from essential needs to self-promotional projects. Village trustees are also growing frustrated with Henyard's approach to governance. Trustee Kiana Belcher, among others, has voiced dismay, describing Dolton's politics under Henyard as devolving into a spectacle, more suited to reality TV than effective governance. Belcher has likened Henyard's entrance to town meetings to that of a movie villain, alleging that she walks in with theatrics, including her favorite soundtrack, Rihanna's B******, Better Have My Money. The irony of a mayor demanding money for alleged debts while her town drowns in debt itself has not been lost on the community. Residents and trustees alike have begun to wonder if Henyard is more invested in projecting power than in responsibly managing Dolton's affairs. One core criticism of Henyard's administration is the perceived misallocation of funds. Online forums and local commentary frequently echo concerns about the village's apparent waste of resources. One blunt comment online remarked, "Let me get this right. Employees are sitting around on the clock with nothing to do, and this is supposed to be another reason they're broke. Cut labor and send people home." This critique resonated with many Dolton residents, as it highlighted Henyard's alleged financial mismanagement and a failure to prioritize resources. Even basic services for village employees, such as internet access, have reportedly been cut, leading some employees to sit idle due to limited resources. This perceived inefficiency raises questions about the priorities and competency of the administration and whether resources are being directed toward genuinely serving the village's needs. Adding to the public's frustration are long-standing accusations of extravagant spending on personal interests. One pointed comment alluded to allegations that Henyard allocated taxpayer funds for a nearly $500,000 upgrade to her mother's driveway, which has become a source of local resentment. "Maybe they should have told her to pay back that nearly $500,000 she supposedly spent on her mom's driveway," remarked a frustrated resident. The statement struck a chord with many, who are increasingly frustrated by Henyard's alleged misuse of village resources on projects that seem far removed from Dolton's financial struggles. While Henyard has remained vocal about the village's economic challenges, she has yet to provide a clear plan to alleviate Dolton's debt. Many residents feel there is a fundamental disconnect between her public statements and her actions, as her administration is marred by a steady stream of controversies and financial impropriety claims. Her decision to focus on re-election amidst all of this has left residents scratching their heads. Announcing her campaign on Facebook with unshakable confidence, Henyard declared a landslide victory in her future, exuding an optimism that has struck many as out of touch with reality. Residents see her recent years in office as a period plagued by financial irresponsibility and escalating controversies, prompting them to wonder if her optimism is rooted more in ambition than in an honest appraisal of the village's sentiment. The mayor's financial choices have become increasingly concerning, with accusations ranging from excessive spending on personal luxuries to using taxpayer money for luxurious travel and hotel stays. Adding fuel to the fire is an eviction lawsuit filed against her by her landlord, who alleges that Henyard and her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, have not paid rent in months and went so far as to change the locks to prevent the landlord from entering her own property. The landlord's frustration reached a point where she made an appearance at a public board meeting to openly demand overdue rent, which has only added to the public spectacle surrounding Henyard. The unfolding legal dispute has added a personal layer to the growing distrust surrounding Henyard's leadership. Despite her controversies, Henyard is pressing forward with her re-election campaign, which has attracted opposition from trustee Jason House and a coalition of other village members who advocate for new leadership under the banner of the Clean House Slate movement. House and his supporters argue that Dolton's financial integrity and public trust are at stake, and that Henyard's tenure has undermined the town's reputation. They promise a new approach, one rooted in transparency, fiscal responsibility, and a commitment to the community's best interests. This platform has found resonance among residents disillusioned by the current administration and eager for a fresh start. The Clean House Slate movement emphasizes the need for Dolton to prioritize its citizens over personal interests. Many residents see this as a promising alternative to Henyard's leadership style, which has been marked by conflict and a perceived disregard for public accountability. With an enthusiastic response from the community, House's supporters hope to restore order, integrity, and financial stability to Dolton. Their campaign has gained traction as residents question whether the ongoing scandals, allegations, and spending issues can be effectively resolved under Henyard's administration. Meanwhile, Henyard's relationship with the trustees has become increasingly strained. Once supportive, many trustees have distanced themselves from Henyard, voicing frustration with her leadership style and financial decisions. The resulting discord is evident in board meetings, which frequently devolve into heated arguments and public confrontations, overshadowing any productive discussions. These clashes have deepened the perception that Henyard is prioritizing her own interests over the community's well-being, and residents are increasingly vocal in their demands for accountability. In an unusual move, Henyard recently took to Facebook Live to address her critics directly, even going so far as to threaten to press charges against those lying about her. While she didn't specify what these alleged lies were or what crimes her opponents had supposedly committed, the video struck many as both bizarre and emblematic of her confrontational approach to governance. The idea of a mayor casually threatening legal action in response to criticism has fueled public skepticism, as Henyard's tactic of vague threats adds to a growing sense that she is attempting to silence opposition rather than address legitimate concerns. Further complicating matters is the federal investigation into Henyard's spending practices, with reports indicating that the FBI has served subpoenas to both Dolton and neighboring Thornton Township, where she also holds influence. The investigation seeks to uncover whether taxpayer funds were misused for personal luxuries, and this lack of transparency in Dolton's finances has only fueled public anger. Residents are demanding answers about how their money is being spent, especially when essential services seem neglected, while the mayor reportedly enjoys a luxurious lifestyle. The chaos surrounding Henyard's administration has left Dolton divided, prompting many to question whether her actions reflect genuine leadership or an attempt to hold on to power at any cost. Trustees, residents, and federal authorities are all scrutinizing her every move, and the mounting controversies appear to paint a picture of a leader increasingly isolated by scandal. Henyard's seeming determination to maintain her authority despite widespread disapproval has led some to wonder whether she is motivated by a sense of duty or an unwillingness to admit defeat. As the election approaches, Dolton residents face a crucial decision that will shape the future of their village. They can either re-elect Henyard, a mayor undeterred by the swirling controversies and criticism, or opt for a new direction under a leadership team that promises integrity, transparency, and a commitment to community needs. With every new scandal, lawsuit, and public confrontation, the stakes grow higher, leaving the community at a crossroads in deciding which path is best for Dolton's future.